Okay, I'm now joined by Lorna Coleman of Microfinance Ireland, who are the sponsors of tonight's event. Lorna, you're very welcome.
Thank you very much. Good to be here.
The short version, what is Microfinance Ireland?
Microfinance Ireland was set up by the government in 2012, aimed at assisting companies that couldn't get credit from the banks. So we were basically set up to help anyone who had a decline from the bank with loans of up to €25,000.
I would imagine people are, to this day, beating a pat to your door. I'd say when you kind of go into the office in the morning, is people sleeping overnight to get into you?
No, not exactly, actually. It's been quite slow. It's slow but steady, the increase in demand. We thought we might have a tsunami at the beginning, but that hasn't happened. I think when people get a refusal from the bank, they tend to go home, lick their wounds, look at cost savings, how they can, bootstrap and get family, friends and all the rest to produce some funds for them. Nevertheless, as word has spread about how, how open we are and how approachable, we are getting increasingly more inquiries now. We have lent about 4 million at this stage, so we're happy enough with that, but we could have done double that.
Now, when you say you give loans to people who've been refused with a bank, sometimes you've been refused with a bank because the manager says, look, there's not much point in trying. Yeah. Other times, a good investigation was done on you and they still said no. What are the criteria that you give loans on? Are they similar to the bank?
Yes, it would be quite similar. We have an assessment procedure, and at all times we're looking for repayment capacity in the business. The difference between us and banks is banks have a profit motive. We've been set up by the government with fully grant funded, so that we have actually we don't have a profit margin. We're actually not for profit. We would look always to, is this company viable? Will the person succeed and thrive? Or will this loan put the person in jeopardy, in fact? So we would at all times, in the first place, assess the business case and then look at the personal circumstances to ensure that we're not actually putting another debt around somebody who's desperately just becoming a necessity entrepreneur more than anything else.
Now, you're obviously the glamorous, friendly face of Microfinance Ireland, but there are obviously hard-nosed people in the background going through these plans.
Yeah, absolutely. Our assessment team would have banking experience. I think most of them would have banking experience or be around enterprise development for many years. And I guess they always take the pragmatic view. We must always remember, though, when they're assessing, that we have a social mission. I suppose we are governed under the Department of Enterprise, Trade and Innovation, and as such we're all about under the Action Plan for Jobs, we're all about jobs and job sustainability. So our assessors have at all times to keep their eye on that particular objective, that we could help somebody save a job or create a job would be the mandate. So therefore, although they will assess and look at all the numbers, and they always do, and they look at the bank statements and they look at the financial health of the person or the business, if it's an existing business, we are always also aware of our own mandate, which is to get something over the line if it has any potential at all. And that potential that I'm talking about is the potential to employ or keep a job and obviously pay us back. We would have flexibility around our terms, but we want the money back. It's taxpayers' money. We need to recirculate it.
Would I be right in saying that, unlike the banks, you will often give a customer the benefit of the doubt if there was something that he said will probably happen? Now, if it's not written in cast stone, often a bank will say, no, this doesn't look feasible. But if somebody comes to you and they seem passionate about something and said, look, I can make this work, will you give them the benefit of the doubt?
Yeah, we like to think that we go over and above and beyond what you would normally get in a credit assessment. We would, as I say, look at the whole picture. And I guess we can afford to give the benefit of the doubt because we don't have a profit motive. So in the first place, when the bank have a doubt about a project, and we get many of those projects from the banks that they've been refused, and why, and we look at them, and really the why is that the banks won't get repaid in the particular way they want to, in the particular timeline they want to. Our loans are at 8.8% at the moment. We will be looking at that as we go on and see how the loan book performs. But generally speaking, once somebody gets a loan from us, it's in our business to actually help them and keep them on track. So we would often put in mentoring through the Leo network or other assistances such as moratoriums or paused payments or whatever to try and get them over the hump. So we would have always that in mind when we're assessing. If something is marginal, we tend to try our best to get it over the line. That's a fact.
Now, I have an idea for a business. I've no money. What's the procedure about going through the microfinance system? What do I need? What should I do?
Well, in the first place, you will definitely need to have gone into your bank for a chat, just to see how are they fixed. Are they going to even look at this? We don't want you to waste time with the bank going through weeks and weeks of paperwork if you're going to get a refusal. So try and get an honest opinion from a bank relationship manager. Have I a chance or have I not? Assuming they give you a negative, you're then eligible to come to us. So you need to have had some form of a decline from the bank. It's simply self-certification on our application form. We have an application form. We're going to need that filled, and we'll at all times need your business plan backed up by cash flow projections. Generally, we look for 3 years cash flows on a month-by-month basis. That's what we're assessing. In the background, then, we will look for documentation around your financial viability, I suppose, as a concern. And so we would look for 6 months bank statements. To draw down a loan, we'll at all times look for a tax clearance cert, because we want to ensure that the companies or the individuals that we lend to are tax compliant. So that would be it. You know, you can get your paperwork together and you can send it in to us directly, or you can go through the local enterprise office. We would encourage people to go through the new Leo system, because the officers in there are trained to assist you to get the application together. They can overlook it and make sure that everything is together and correct in your pack, and they can even make a recommendation to us. So it would be useful to use them.
Well, Lorna Coleman of Microfinance Ireland, thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you very much.